Israel, under the pretext of self-defense, launched an attack on Iran, taking the grave risk of targeting and potentially destroying nuclear facilities. This action raises several critical questions. Does Israel truly consider the value of innocent lives in its strategic decisions? Does it demonstrate genuine concern for global nuclear security? Is this the first instance in which Israel has attacked a nuclear facility? And why does Pakistan emerge in this context? Has it faced a similar threat or situation in the past? Israel launched Operation Rising Lion on 13th of June 2025, a series of airstrikes across Iran targeting uranium enrichment facilities like Natanz, missile sites, military leadership, and senior nuclear scientists. With Iran's civil unrest and internal turmoil, Israeli officials, echoing Begin-era warnings, justified the strikes as vital preventive measures. While international warnings loom, the strikes, though criticized, are credited with delaying Iran's breakout capability by close to a decade. But, as analysts caution with hindsight from Osirak, such operations often trigger intensified determination. Bomb Iran, and it will surely decide to pursue nuclear arms. This led us to ask, is this something rare, or is it a precedent? Has Israel done such an action before? And the answer to that is yes, not only once but twice. And they tried the third time as well, and you won't believe which country it was. I will let you guess it. Until then, we should start with our topic. Israel has always played the victim card since its illegal inception that its neighboring countries want to annihilate it. Any sort of defense upgrade in the region is seen with suspicion by the Israelis, and they try to make it all about themselves by taking it on themselves and then going after it. This is very particular when it comes to nuclearizing itself, which was attempted by Iraq and Syria in the past, but they both failed drastically. Saddam Hussein came into power in 1979 after taking over presidency from his cousin Hassan al-Bakr. Soon after becoming the president, he propelled the nuclear program to new level, which he had previously initiated as the vice president. Under Prime Minister Begin of Israel, a plan was hatched to undo this nuclear dream of Saddam Hussein, and no other than newly gifted F-16s were used by the Israelis in this mission. On June 7, 1981, a squadron of 8 Israeli F-16 fighter bombers, escorted by 6 F-15s, executed a deep penetration strike some 1,000 kilometers into Iraqi territory to obliterate the almost completed French-built Osirak nuclear reactor at the Tammuz 1 complex, just south of Baghdad. This plan was very sophisticated for its time, as the Israeli plans went through the airspace of Jordan and Saudi Arabia. Dubbed Operation Opera, this dramatic preemptive action, planned under Prime Minister Menachem Begin, was rationalized as self-defense. Israeli intelligence feared Saddam Hussein could soon produce weapons-grade fissile material capable of spawning another Holocaust. The reactor, looted of its uranium fuel, had not yet gone critical, but Israel deemed the risk too great to postpone. Within 2 minutes, the dome lay in ruins. Although 10 Iraqi soldiers and a French civilian were killed, Israeli pilots returned safely, though international reactions were swift. The United Nations Security Council condemned the raid as a clear violation of international law, and the US briefly suspended arms deliveries. This incident clearly showed that Israel had no regard for international law and the nuclear security of the world, as this incident led to the death of 10 Iraqis and 1 French nuclear scientist who were present at the site. Operation Opera codified what became known as the Begin Doctrine. Israel would not permit an enemy state to acquire weapons of mass destruction, acting unilaterally if needed. This doctrine echoed covert sabotage campaigns dating back to the late 1970s, Mossad assassinations, French equipment sabotage, pressure on nuclear scientists, efforts designed to delay Iraq's nuclear capability. International opinion remained sharply divided. Although the strike temporarily delayed Iraq's nuclear ambitions, it arguably pushed Saddam's program underground and accelerated efforts to build more clandestine nuclear assets. This was carried well into the 21st century by the Israelis. Operation Orchard was a covert Israeli airstrike carried out on September 6, 2007, targeting a suspected Syrian nuclear reactor located in the Deir ez-Zor region of northeastern Syria. The reactor, believed to be a gas-cooled, graphite-moderated reactor of North Korean design, was allegedly close to becoming operational and capable of producing plutonium for nuclear weapons. Israeli intelligence, working in close cooperation with the United States, discovered the facility in 2006 and later provided evidence to the CIA, including photographs from a Mossad raid on a Syrian official's laptop in London. After receiving US acknowledgement of the site's nuclear nature but not fully operational backing, Israel proceeded unilaterally. Using F-15 and F-16 fighter jets, Israel launched a precise and stealthy strike that destroyed the facility in a matter of minutes. The mission included electronic warfare measures that jammed Syrian radar, allowing Israeli aircraft to fly in undetected. In the immediate aftermath, both Israel and Syria remained silent, with Israel imposing a media blackout and Syria issuing a vague statement about an airspace violation. The strike was only officially acknowledged by Israel in 2018, over a decade later. India has always been good at copying other people's work, be it movies, music, or even military operations, but like every time, it ruins the original. They tried to do the same with Israel's Operation Opera as they tried to replicate one with Pakistan. After India's Pokhran test in 1974, an arms race was triggered between India and Pakistan. Being very wary of India's fledgling nuclear capabilities, Pakistan sought any help needed to build nuclear weapons for itself. By the late 1970s, Indian intelligence agency heard rumors about the Kahuta plant, and later on, using intel, they confirmed the existence of Kahuta. India now confirmed that Pakistan was indeed making nuclear weapons. And in this came Israel, who straightaway wanted to bomb the Kahuta plant. Israel's Mossad was also insecure about Pakistan acquiring nuclear arms. Israel suggested that they would carry out the raid on Kahuta, using India's Jamnagar base in Gujarat to launch its jets, and use another base in northern India for refueling the aircraft. It partnered with RAW in gathering everything there was to know about the Pakistani nuclear program. The intelligence agencies of Pakistan learned of the Israeli attempted operation when Israeli Air Force's fighter jets flew close to Pakistan's northern border. The PAF responded immediately. The PAF's aggressor squadron's jets, belonging to No. 11 Squadron Arrows, intercepted the IAF jets and gained a missile lock on one of the Israeli jets. The Israeli jets pulled back subsequently. Soon, India put its plans on hold after Dr. Raja Ramanna, the then director of the Bhabha Atomic Research Center, was warned by the then chairman of Pakistan Atomic Energy Commission, Munir Ahmed Khan, in Vienna in the autumn of 1983 that Islamabad would attack Trombay if its facilities in Kahuta were hit. This was claimed in a report from London published in the Asian Age, citing details revealed by investigative journalists Adrian Levy and Catherine Scott Clark in their book titled Deception, Pakistan, the US, and the Global Weapons. In March 1984, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi signed off the Israeli-led operation, bringing India, Pakistan, and Israel to within a hair's breadth of a nuclear conflagration. However, the author said India and Israel backed down after the CIA tipped off General Zia, and the US State Department warned India that the US will be responsive if India persists. Had India pursued joint action, as rumored, with Israel to neutralize Pakistan's nuclear capabilities in the 1980s, the political and military fallout would have been immense, triggering war with Pakistan, fracturing regional security, undermining India's non-alignment and superpower relations, and positioning it as a rogue aggressor on the global stage. Politically, it risked India losing moral authority and strategic partnerships, potentially accelerating nuclear proliferation as both nations would race to rediscover or hide their arsenals. Israel, on the other hand, had the leverage that Iraq was already busy in a war with Iran at that time, so it couldn't mainly focus on the retaliation against Israel. From the tangible flames of Osirak to the rumble of drones over Natanz, the calculus of preventive defense remains contentious. These strikes by Israel and the hinted at conspiracies with India raise an essential question. Does preemptive action delay or embolden future proliferation? As the world watches Israel's newest campaign and re-examines Islamabad's near miss in the 1980s, one stark truth becomes clear. Once a nuclear path is laid, it cannot easily be undone. And once a doctrine of preventive war is born, it shapes future geopolitics in unpredictable ways. Will the next strike be the one that sparks open nuclear confrontation or finally inspires international reconciliation?